all for being here. Before I introduce my good friend and colleague and boss, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Martin Kent, I'm sorry the way things have played out today. I think we worked really, really hard to try to get the word out. Unfortunately, there was obviously just impossible to get everybody. So those of you who drove here, in some cases from quite a far distance away, we do thank you so much. I think it just shows your support for the wine industry, not just for today's announcement, but just the wine industry in general. So thank you so much. David is nice enough to host us. David, we will take you up on your offer to return here. Martin's going to say a little bit about that. This is absolutely one of the crown jewels in the Virginia wine industry here, in the heart and soul of the Virginia wine industry in Albemarle County. So I couldn't find particularly with you winning the Governor's Cup Award this year for your meritage that we all enjoy, this just made perfect sense to be here today. So the circumstances have obviously changed. David mentioned in his remarks about the funds that we're going to have for education and research. Those monies that Matt Conrad and his work, Matt is now part of my team as the Secretary of Agriculture and Forestry. The work he did, worked with folks on the Governor's campaign. Another good friend of mine, Finkbeiner, who assisted who's now in charge of policy for the Governor, was part of that effort to make it all come together as candidate McDonald. And then now Governor McDonald, Eric's in charge of policy development for the Governor and was the brains behind the operation, helping shepherd it through the General Assembly. So we do have those new monies. We've gone from about $580,000 annually for research and education and marketing to about $1.3 million for marketing, education, and research. That is a great, great step forward for this industry. It is the state standing up for the industry. It's standing up for you all and helping you all, helping this industry go to another level. The downside to that only is that we've got a lot of work to do. We've got this, now we have a mechanism that is tied to the sales of wine in the state. So we've got to continue pushing forward and working to sell more wine, not only domestically, but into the global marketplace, because every bottle of wine that we sell today and into the future will be more money deposited in the future to this account, which will go back into more research, more education, things that Bruce Auckland's working on at Virginia Tech and our friends at Piedmont Virginia Community College, and then all the things that we're trying to do, the Wine Marketing Office and the Governor's Office and the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services to market the wine all around the world. So it's very, very important that we don't rest on our laurels today. We need to keep pushing forward and try to move more wine. I know that's what everybody here wants to do. So thank you all for everything that you have done up until today. More importantly, thank you for everything that you will be doing in the future. And again, we will come back here at some point here in the next few months, maybe when it's a little less humid. David reminded me that the mountain starts to change colors in the fall. We might even have a more picturesque and beautiful setting to have this ceremony where the Governor can join us and really have a true celebration of the things that we've accomplished over the last few months as candidate McDonald and now as Governor McDonald. So with that, thank you again so much for everything that you have done and everything that you will do. And with that, I'm going to introduce again my good friend, colleague, and boss, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Martin Kent, to say a few words on behalf of the Governor. So please welcome Martin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll be very brief. Again, I want to extend my apologies to you on behalf of the Governor that he cannot be here today. I tell you that it was a very difficult decision that he had to make just this morning to not be here, but obviously, as all of us know, family takes precedent, and he needed to be with the First Lady this afternoon. The First Lady is obviously very committed as well to the initiative of growing our wine industry in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Todd spoke a few minutes ago about some of the resources that we have secured for the longevity of this industry. These are tight budget times, but as Eric will tell you in a moment, one of the priorities the Governor had this session was we're going to spend money where it makes sense, where we create jobs and opportunity for all Virginians. The wine industry is one such place, one very important place in the Commonwealth of Virginia. It is certainly a pillar of the growth in our agriculture sector, and we want to do our best to help make that happen. And with folks like David out there that are really the true entrepreneurs that are trying to make that happen in the fields, growing the grapes, producing the wine, we salute you, and that's what today was all about. This law will take effect in less than 2 weeks. The governor has already signed it. Again, today was more ceremonial in nature to celebrate this and to recognize Virginia is a leader in this country and in this world, we're hoping,
Yes.
for wine. And so, again, that's what the purpose of today was. If I could, I'd like to turn over briefly to Eric to say a few more things. Eric's responsible for shepherding the governor's legislative agenda through the General Assembly, and he just wanted to be here on behalf of him as well.
Yep.
So, Eric, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I'll be really brief and want to thank, obviously, David King and all of his staff and family here for this small event. And we will do it bigger and better in October, and we're excited about that. As Martin and Todd said, I am fortunate enough to be able to work on the governor's legislative agenda. This was a key part of it. Me and my whole team are always excited when we can work on legislation having to do with drinking wine. So we look forward to additional things. Martin mentioned the focus the governor has on jobs and economic development. Obviously, the wine industry is a huge part of that, and we're going to remain committed to it. His Commission on Job Creation and Economic Development has a subcommittee dedicated to tourism and wine marketing, and I know Matt has already taken a leadership role in that, and we look forward to further ideas and initiatives, whether it's on the legislative side or budgetary side, where we can continue to support you all and your business and the wine industry in general across the Commonwealth. So thank you again for your leadership, for all your support in getting this legislation passed. We couldn't have done it without you. You made, I've seen folks here in this room who were there in the General Assembly building working real hard to get this through. And it was a huge bipartisan effort that the governor is very proud of, and we look forward to further successes in the area. So thanks again.
Thank you.